Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a question. What would your life look like if for just 7 days you took control of every single thought that entered your mind? Most people protect their phones with passwords. They lock their cars, they lock their homes, but they leave the door wide open to their mind, and anything fear, doubt, worry, negativity can walk right in. But I'm here to tell you today, it's time to put a lock on your mental front door. It's time to go on a 7-day mental diet challenge. Now, let me be clear, I'm not talking about calories, carb, or sugar. I'm talking about something more powerful. Open your mindset, because when you control your mind, you control your destiny. Imagine this: for 7 days, you choose to reject every negative thought. You refuse to gossip. You refuse to complain. You refuse to marinate in doubt. Instead, you feed your mind courage, faith, creativity, and solutions. Here's the truth: whatever you feed grows. Whatever you starve dies. If you feed fear, it grows. If you feed faith, it grows. If you starve doubt, it dies. If you starve negativity, it dies. And for 7 days, you and we're going to feed our faith, our dreams, our vision, our purpose. Because when you change your mental diet, you don't just change a week, you change your life. So I challenge you today, take the 7-day mental diet challenge. Guard your thoughts like a treasure chest. Choose power over pity, progress over procrastination, faith over fear, and watch how the world around you starts to shift. You've got greatness inside of you. You've got strength inside of you. And the only thing standing between you and the life you deserve is the mental junk food you've been consuming. For 7 days, just 7, clean your mental plate. You'll discover you are stronger than you thought, braver than you imagined, and more capable than you ever believed. So let's begin. Your transformation starts now. Your mind is the control center of your life. Every decision, every action, every belief begins with a single thought. If you want to change your life, you must first change the way you think. But here's the problem: most people leave their minds unguarded. They allow anything and everything, negative comments, self-doubt, bad news, toxic conversations, to slip right in and take root. And once those thoughts are planted, they grow into weeds that choke out the seeds of greatness. Paragraph 2, think about your home. You wouldn't leave the front door wide open and let strangers wander in, would you? You wouldn't allow someone carrying bags of garbage to dump them in your living room. Yet every day, many of us allow garbage into our minds without a second thought. We scroll through endless negativity on social media. We absorb fear-filled news stories. We repeat self-limiting beliefs we've heard from others, and all of it piles up inside us. Paragraph 3, the truth is you are the gatekeeper of your mind. You decide who gets access, you decide what stays, and you decide what gets evicted. If a thought doesn't serve your growth, if it doesn't strengthen your faith, if it doesn't align with your purpose, why let it live in your head? You need to treat your mind like prime real estate. Only tenants that add value are welcome. Everything else denied entry. Paragraph 4, guarding your mind doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means choosing how much space reality gets to occupy. Yes, challenges exist. Yes, difficulties come. But instead of letting them overwhelm you, you filter them through a mindset of possibility. You don't deny problems, but you refuse to let problems define you. You acknowledge them, you learn from them, and then you redirect your focus towards solutions. That's what mental discipline looks like. Paragraph 5, when you lock the door to negativity, you begin to protect your energy. And energy is everything. If your mind is flooded with doubt, fear, and worry, you will feel heavy, stuck, and powerless. But when you guard that door and only allow thoughts of courage, creativity, and confidence inside, you walk differently, you speak differently, you show up differently. People will notice the shift, because the energy of your thoughts becomes the atmosphere of your life. Paragraph 6, guarding your mind also means being intentional about your environment. The books you read, the music you listen to, the people you associate with, all of these are either strengthening your mental defenses or tearing them down. You can't lock the front door and leave the windows wide open. If you truly want to transform your life, you must become vigilant, be selective, be watchful, be intentional, because your mind is too valuable to be a dumping ground for negativity. Paragraph 1, when people hear the word diet, their minds immediately jump to food, cutting calories, avoiding sugar, eating salads. But the 7-day mental diet is different. It's not about what goes into your stomach, it's about what goes into your mind. Because let's be honest, your body can survive without cake, but your dreams cannot survive without the right thoughts. Food fuels the body, but thoughts fuel the spirit. And when the spirit is weak, no amount of protein or vitamins can make up for it. Paragraph 2, think about it this way: if you ate junk food every day, soda, fried food, candy, You know your body would eventually break down. You'd feel sluggish, tired, and unhealthy. But the same thing happens with your thoughts. If you feed your mind with negativity, gossip, worry, and fear, you'll feel drained, hopeless, and stuck. The mental diet is about cutting out that junk and replacing it with thoughts that give you energy, courage, and clarity. Paragraph 3, this challenge is not about denying yourself, it's about disciplining yourself. It's about saying, for 7 days, I will not consume mental poison. That means you don't entertain gossip at work. You don't rehearse the worst case scenario in your head. You don't allow someone else's bad mood to dictate your attitude. Instead, you choose carefully what you dwell on. You choose to feed your mind affirmations, solutions, gratitude, and possibilities. Paragraph 4, the beauty of this diet is that no one can force it on you and no one can stop you from doing it. It doesn't require money. It doesn't require special equipment. It only requires awareness and discipline. You are the chef of your mental kitchen. You decide what thoughts get prepared and served. And just like a healthy meal, the right thoughts will nourish you, sustain you, and give you strength to keep moving forward. Paragraph 5, the 7-day mental diet is about building a new habit of mental nutrition. For too long, many of us have been on autopilot, absorbing anything that comes our way, never stopping to ask, is this good for me? Will this help me grow? But during these 7 days, you step into a new level of responsibility. You stop consuming thoughts carelessly and start consuming them consciously. You become intentional about your inner diet. Paragraph 6, and here's the amazing part. Once you taste the difference, you won't want to go back. Just like someone who switches from fast food to fresh food notices a change in their energy. Someone who switches from negativity to positivity notices a change in their entire outlook. You'll see challenges differently. You'll hear opportunity in places you used to hear only problems. The 7-day mental diet trains you to choose your thoughts the way you choose your meals, with wisdom, care, and a focus on what will sustain you. Negativity, gossip, and complaints are like toxins that poison the atmosphere of your mind. They may seem small, even harmless at first. Little complaint about the weather, a quick conversation about someone else's mistakes, a fleeting negative thought about your own abilities. But just like poison, even a small dose, if taken daily, will eventually weaken you. That's why the 7-day mental diet demands that you reject them completely. No excuses, no exceptions. For 7 days, you must detox your mind from every trace of negativity. Paragraph 2, complaining is one of the most subtle forms of negativity. It feels normal because everyone does it. People complain about traffic, about jobs, about family, about opportunities they don't have. But here's the truth. Complaining changes nothing. All it does is make the problem bigger in your mind and smaller your ability to handle it. When you stop complaining, you force yourself to redirect your energy toward solutions. You stop repeating the problem and start rewriting the outcome. Paragraph 3, gossip is another trap you must avoid. It masquerades as harmless conversation, but gossip drains your integrity, your focus, and your peace of mind. Every time you participate in it, you teach your subconscious that it's okay to waste energy on someone else's life instead of investing it in your own. And while you're busy discussing other people's flaws, your own growth stands still. Rejecting gossip during this challenge is not just about being nice. It's about preserving your mental energy for the things that truly matter. Paragraph 4, negativity in your own self-talk is perhaps the most dangerous of them all. The way you speak to yourself determines how you show up in the world. If your inner voice constantly tells you that you're not good enough, not smart enough, not capable enough, then you'll act accordingly. During this challenge, you must catch those thoughts the moment they appear. Don't let them take root. Replace them with affirmations of strength, ability, and resilience, because the words you speak to yourself are shaping your reality every single day. Paragraph 5, rejecting negativity is not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about choosing not to dwell on what pulls you down. Problems exist, but marinating in negativity will never solve them. Instead of saying, I can't believe this happened, train yourself to say, this is a challenge, but I will find a way. Instead of gossiping about someone's failure, say, what can I learn from this situation? The rejection of negativity is really the redirection of your focus toward growth and possibility. Paragraph 6, every time you reject a negative thought, every time you refuse to complain, every time you shut down gossip, you strengthen your mental muscles. And you're practicing discipline. You're training your brain to see light where others only see darkness. And little by little, this discipline turns into power. Because the person who can control their thoughts can control their destiny. The 7-day mental diet gives you a chance to exercise that control in real time. And the more you practice, the stronger you become. Your mind is always hungry. It's constantly feeding on something, whether you're aware of it or not. And just like your body, the quality of what you feed it determines the quality of what you get out of it. If you feed your mind with fear, it will grow timid. If you feed it with doubt, it will grow hesitant. But if you feed your mind with courage, faith, and solutions, it will grow strong, bold, and unstoppable. The 7-day mental diet is about giving your mind the nutrition it needs to thrive. Paragraph 2, courage is the first ingredient. Courage doesn't mean you're not afraid. It means you move forward even while fear is whispering in your ear. Every time you feed your mind with thoughts of courage, you remind yourself that fear does not own you. Courage says, yes, it's difficult, but I can do this. Yes, it's uncertain, but I'll take the step anyway. When you practice this kind of thinking, you stop waiting for fear to disappear and start building the habit of action despite it. Paragraph 3, the second ingredient is faith. Faith is the ability to believe in something before you can see it. It's the inner knowing that your dream is possible even when there's no physical evidence yet. Feeding your mind with faith means you speak possibility when others speak limitation. It means you expect good things even when the odds look bad. Faith trains your mind to focus on opportunity instead of obstacles, to believe in progress instead of problems. And during these 7 days, you must feed your mind daily with that belief. Paragraph 4, solutions are the third ingredient, and they are the fuel that keeps momentum alive. Too often, people spend their energy rehearsing problems instead of seeking answers. But when you feed your mind with solutions, you develop a problem-solving mindset. Instead of saying, I can't, you ask, how can I? Instead of asking, why me? You ask, what can I learn? Solutions don't always come immediately, but a solution-focused mind refuses to get stuck. It keeps searching, keeps creating, keeps moving forward. Paragraph 5, the combination of courage, faith, and solutions creates mental strength. Courage pushes you to start, faith keeps you believing, and solutions help you continue. These three together become a shield against negativity and doubt. When you train your mind to think this way for 7 days, you begin rewiring it for strength. And just like muscles that grow when you consistently feed your body the right fuel, your mind grows stronger when you consistently feed it empowering thoughts. Paragraph 6, but here's the key: feeding your mind is not a one-time event, it's a daily practice. You wouldn't eat one healthy meal and expect your body to transform. You'd keep fueling it every day. The same is true for your mental diet. You must intentionally feed your mind with courage by affirming your strength, with faith by envisioning your future, and with solutions by focusing on what you can do right now. The more consistently you do it, the more natural it becomes, until courage, faith, and solutions are not just things you think about, they become who you are. Every thought in your mind is like a seed. When you feed it with attention, repetition, and belief, it begins to grow roots, it sprouts, and eventually it bears fruit in your life. You constantly feed worry, it grows into anxiety. If you constantly feed doubt, it grows into hesitation. But if you feed faith, it grows into confidence. If you feed gratitude, it grows into joy. The law is simple: whatever you feed grows, and whatever you starve dies. Paragraph 2, the problem is, most people feed the wrong seeds. They water fear every morning by replaying everything that could go wrong. They fertilize doubt by listening to voices that say, you can't do this. They nurture negativity by rehearsing complaints and frustrations. And then they wonder why their lives are full of stress, frustration, and limitations. They've been feeding weeds instead of flowers. And now the weeds have taken over the garden. Paragraph 3, the 7-day mental diet is about starving the weeds. It's about refusing to water them, refusing to give them sunlight, refusing to give them your attention. When a negative thought comes, you don't feed it by dwelling on it. You starve it by replacing it. When self-doubt shows up, you don't sit with it. You speak confidence over yourself. When worry tries to take root, you starve it by focusing on gratitude and possibilities. Over time, those weeds weaken and they lose their grip on your life. Paragraph 4, at the same time, you must deliberately feed the seeds you want to grow. If you want courage, you speak courage. If you want vision, you focus on your goals every single day. If you want peace, you practice gratitude and forgiveness. Every positive thought you choose is like a drop of water nourishing the seed of greatness inside you. And just like a plant doesn't grow overnight, the results take time, but if you keep feeding the right seeds, growth is inevitable. Paragraph 5, this principle works both ways and it doesn't take a break. Life is always responding to what you feed. That's why you can't take days off when it comes to your mental diet. One moment of feeding negativity can undo hours of feeding positivity. That's why discipline is so important. You must stay aware of what you're watering. Because if you're not careful, you might unconsciously be feeding the very things you want to eliminate. Paragraph 6. Think of your mind like a farmer's field. The harvest you reap depends entirely on what you plant and what you nurture. If you want a harvest of success, peace, and purpose, you can't plant and water seeds of fear, anger, and limitation. During this challenge, remind yourself daily, whatever I feed will grow, and whatever I starve will die. And the future I create depends on which seeds I choose to water today. Negativity is like carrying a backpack full of rocks everywhere you go. Every complaint is a rock. Every doubt is a rock. Every negative word you speak to yourself adds another rock. Soon you're way down, moving slowly, struggling to take even the smallest steps forward. Negativity doesn't just live in your mind. It drains your energy. It affects your body. It steals your enthusiasm. The more you carry it, the weaker you feel. Paragraph 2. Positivity, on the other hand, is like fuel. It doesn't erase challenges, but it gives you the strength to face them. When you feed your mind with positive thoughts, you generate energy instead of losing it. Positivity gives you the courage to try again after failure, the patience to keep working when results are slow, and the vision to see opportunity where others only see obstacles. It empowers you to rise above circumstances instead of being crushed by them. Paragraph 3. Negativity is sneaky because it often disguises itself as realism. People say, "I'm not negative, I'm just being realistic," but most of the time that realism is just a sophisticated way of saying, "I've already given up." Negativity makes you believe that your current situation is permanent. It convinces you that things will never change. And once you accept that lie, you stop trying, you stop growing, and you stop fighting for your dreams. That's why negativity is so destructive. It doesn't just weaken your present, it robs you of your future. Paragraph 4. Positivity doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means choosing how to interpret reality. Two people can go through the exact same situation, and one will be crushed while the other will rise. The difference is their mindset. Positivity says, "This challenge is tough, but I'm tougher." Positivity says, "I may not know the answer yet, but I will find one." Positivity says, "This setback is not the end, it's a setup for a comeback." That perspective empowers you to act instead of retreat. Paragraph 5. Negativity weakens you by shrinking your vision. When you're negative, you can only see problems. It's like staring through a narrow lens. You miss all the possibilities around you. But positivity widens your vision. It helps you see options you didn't know existed. It helps you recognize resources you overlooked before. It strengthens your creativity and gives you the confidence to explore solutions. A positive mind isn't malave, it's powerful because it refuses to surrender. Paragraph 6. During the 7-day mental diet, your job is to monitor how negativity and positivity affect your energy. Notice how heavy you feel after complaining. Notice how drained you are after focusing on what's wrong. Then notice the shift in your body when you focus on gratitude, when you speak words of encouragement, when you look for solutions instead of problems. That contrast is proof negativity weakens you, but positivity empowers you. The choice of which one you live with is always in your hands.